So I've been struggling with how to start off this video. I think this is definitely one of the hardest videos for me to make, and I'm like cringing inside. But I know that in order for you to really help people, you have to be honest with yourself. And so this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I just always said no, don't do it. Some things are better left unsaid. What are other people gonna think about me? Like me really considering other people's thoughts and feelings. I really want to be able to help people. That starts with helping myself. Many of you who watch me or who have been watching me, you probably have no idea what I do, what I went to school for, even if I went to school. So I have a degree in nursing. If you've maybe watched a few other videos, you maybe have heard me talk about like my struggle through nursing school or my struggle even to get to nursing school. And I definitely believe that everything happens for a reason, and sometimes we choose what we want to hear from God. Sometimes we ask God to tell us things, or we ask him to show himself, or we ask for a sign, we ask him to come to us, but when he does, we don't listen. When I graduated high school, I went straight off to college. I just remember the guidance counselor at my high school pulling me into the office, trying to tell me maybe think about going to community college first and then going off to college, but I just was not trying to hear that. I had an agenda. I cared about what other people thought of me, so I felt like if I go to community college first, then I'm a failure. So I didn't listen. I made a decision and I went off to college, and I struggled. I didn't struggle because I didn't know the information. I would start off great, but then it was just like I wasn't there. I would tell myself I have to prove something to other people. I have to prove that I should be here. Even with choosing what I was gonna study, honestly, nursing was not the first thing that I thought about, but it was the thing that made the most sense for me at the time. I had a cousin who went to school for nursing, and I really looked up to her. Also, my family, they were so proud of her. My dad was so proud of her, and he would talk to me about things. Not saying that he forced me into that, I would never say that, but I just saw how happy and proud he was when I said that I would go to school for nursing. It kind of made me feel like, okay, I gotta do this. I have to do this for him. I have to do this for my family. You know, it's gonna work out. I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna be excited. It's gonna make sense for me. And it never happened for me. And so when I went to school, I did the bare minimum to just kind of get by. I knew deep down the reason why, but I never wanted to admit to it. So I would pray to God, like, you know, change my heart, change me. I don't know what's wrong with me, even though I really did know. As much as I put on a strong face for people when they would ask me questions about it, like, you know, are you excited about getting into nursing school? Are you ready? And I would have to fake it, and I could feel it, and I hate that. And I hate lying. I hate just coming off as a person that I'm not. And that's the worst feeling in the world. I've spent so many years being super miserable, and I'm trying my best to not cry. If we go there, I got some tissue. I always knew that I had a bigger purpose. Even as a child, I always knew. I remember sitting at home by myself, maybe when I was in like 10th or 11th grade, and I was just talking like to God, like, God, I know that you have a plan for me. I know that there's something that you want for me to do. I don't know exactly what. I know that I'm meant to reach so many people. How? I don't know. And the first thing that I jumped on was nursing, because I feel like, okay, yeah, I get to care for people because I really want to care for people. What I've had to realize is that that's not the only way to really care for people. Even in applying for nursing school, there was something in me pulling at me like, don't do it. And even my mother-in-law at the time was not my mother-in-law, but Philip's mom, she's a nurse, and so she would talk to me like, are you sure this is what you want to do? And I would just toss it off like, she don't know what she's talking about. Like, she's just trying to discourage me. You know, like you always hear people who say nursing is hard, and I guess I always felt like I had to prove something, like I'm gonna conquer this. Like, you're telling me that I can't do it, but I'm gonna do it. Instead of me really trying to listen to her and listen to myself, listen to what God was trying to tell me, I was like, nope, I'm gonna do it. And so I got into nursing school, and I was proud of myself, but I was more proud of myself. So it was more like me feeling proud, like, oh yeah, I did something that many people didn't do. I'm still proud of myself, but I feel like it was proud for the wrong reasons. And you know, when I found out that I got into nursing school, my parents were very excited for me. My brothers were very excited for me. So that was a great feeling, making them happy and proud. But deep down inside, I was happy for a short amount of time, and then that happiness quickly faded because I was like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? This not really what I should be doing, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I have to finish this. I'm gonna look like a fool if I don't. I've struggled through school all this time. I have to do it. I have to complete something. And so I got in and I started. And so my first semester, I was like, you know what? If I get through this semester, then I'm just gonna keep going. But if I don't get through it, then that's a sign for me. That's a sign telling me that it's not meant for you. But I got through it. The thing for me is like, it's not that you can't do it. Things that you can do doesn't mean that it's meant for you just because you completed it, just because you did it. It doesn't mean that that's really meant for you. And I didn't realize that. I was like, well, you know, I completed it. I passed. So many other people didn't, so maybe it's meant for me to keep doing this. Even though I was miserable, I didn't have the excitement. Like some of my other classmates were so excited, and I was just like, my mind was so many other places, but I continued on. I remember before I got into nursing school, my chemistry teacher, I remember going to her office and just talking to her, and she was just like, are you sure that this is the direction that you want to go in? I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but, and it's, woo, we're not gonna do this. It's kind of scary, not scary, but it's weird for me to talk about it now. It's just like, I feel like God was constantly giving me people, constantly trying to drop things in my life like, okay, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to throw out this life vest for you. Are you gonna take it? And I wouldn't take it. The reason why I even went to her office was because she asked me to come to her office because she noticed how well I was doing in the beginning. Like I was getting A's on tests and doing well and showing up to class. And then she saw my decline. She saw how uninterested I really was. Whenever I got into nursing school and I passed that first semester and then got into the second semester, it just became even more of a drag. Oh my gosh, I was just so miserable. I was the most miserable I had ever been. And I had to put on this fake front, and I had to pretend, and I had to act as if this was really like, oh my gosh, this is my purpose, this is my calling, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like I love it, I'm just so happy. No, like it was me lying to myself and also lying to other people, kind of like saving face, because I didn't want to embarrass my parents, I didn't want to embarrass my family, I didn't want to look like a fool, you know, leaving nursing, settling for something else, having no real direction. But in essence, I was wasting time and also wasting money. I ended up graduating nursing school, and when I tell you, that was a struggle in itself. And I mean, anyone will tell you that it's a struggle, period. Whether you like it or not, it's gonna be a struggle. It's a beast. For me, the struggle was more of me battling myself and not battling the classes or battling clinicals, because I really believe that I can do anything. I can be good at anything. But the battle was me going through the motion, knowing that this was not meant for me. So when I graduated, it was a different type of feeling, an empty feeling. Y'all, this is so hard for me to say because I feel crazy saying this aloud. I was not happy when I graduated. That was one of the worst feelings in my life, and that's supposed to be a happy moment. It's supposed to be the best time of your life, and that was like the worst time of my life because it was like, wow, so many other people were so excited and so happy, and they felt like their lives were just beginning. I felt like my life was ending. My life was just really going in the wrong direction, and I had no control at this point because I just graduated. So now I have this degree and I have to do something with it. I don't have student loan debt, thank God, and thank my parents. I thank my parents. And so that was the hardest part for me, and even it's hard right now. The hardest part for me because I felt like I went through all of this and I drugged my parents through all of this, and this isn't even me. This isn't even what I desired to do with my life. I guess I'm gonna be good at it. When I went to graduation and walking across the stage and even going and see my family afterwards, I had like this empty feeling inside, disappointment. And that's crazy. You just did something that many people wish they could say that they have done, and you feel empty. So I felt stupid. I felt crazy. I felt like I was being unappreciative. I felt ungrateful. My parents paid for me to go to school. So it was just so many things that I had to battle with. When I graduated, I decided to move back to home to Texas, study for the NCLEX, take the NCLEX. I passed the NCLEX. And then I decided, okay, you know what, God, I'm here. I have to do what I have to do. I have this degree. I need to do something with it. And maybe, you know, just maybe things are going to change. I'm going to feel different. You know, that I'm telling myself these same things that I've been telling myself since I graduated high school. Like, maybe things are going to change for me. I'm going to miraculously feel like this is for me. So I applied for my first nursing position and I ended up getting it. I worked with some amazing people. Some people decide that nursing is not for them because they are around the wrong people, I feel. You know, it's a bad environment. The nurses eat their young, and that was not the case for me at all. I had support from the manager, support from my coworkers, like most importantly my coworkers who really supported me. Like it was just a new nurse coming out that would be ideally where you would want to be. I still was so miserable. Every single day was miserable for me, and you know, I was like, you know, I'm just gonna give this a chance. Like, you just never know. And I knew maybe the second day, like, this isn't. And no, it has nothing to do with trying to change areas, because the area was not the problem at all. Just being miserable, to wake up every single day and you're miserable and you're like, this can't be my life. When it comes to being a nurse, there has to be something that is literally engraved in you. Like, God, you designed me to do this. It's unfair to people, to the patients, for you to not have that passion. So yeah, I was good at it. Like, I feel like I was a dang great nurse just because I care about people and I'm always gonna put my best foot forward. But that doesn't mean that that's really what I'm meant to do. And I picked up on that like so early on. The hardest part, I guess, is realizing that, and you feel dumb. I just feel so crazy. And the hardest part for me was putting out this video, because me fearing what people would think about me, the backlash, people saying different things like, you stupid, you know, you crazy, why would you even go through all of that? Like, what was the point? What was the purpose? You wasted money and this and that. That may be the case, but I would much rather be the example of being the dummy, being the fool, so that someone else won't be like that. I refuse to not tell my story out of the fear of what other people are gonna say about me. I don't want to spend the rest of my life living a mediocre life or just going by but really being miserable. After I finished working and I quit the job because I was getting married and I was going to be moving, I was like, you know, I have to make some changes. But things just weren't really looking up for me. When we moved to St. Louis, I was like, I gotta work it out, you know? So I was applying. I went to job fairs. My dad was like telling me about the place, and every single time, like, my dad would talk to me like about someone who was in nursing and the things that they were doing. Like, I just didn't have that excitement. Like, I was just like, okay. Like, I remember we went to an event, a lady was up talking and she was talking about like how she's a nurse and she's done these things, done this and that. My dad was like, that could be you. And I was just like, yeah. But knowing like, nah. Anyways, when I went to that job fair, it was like a weight on me. Y'all, this is the weirdest thing ever. Like, I'm not even joking. I was like walking up, like this pressure in between me, and imagine having like a magnet, I guess. Like, so the magnet was like pulling me away. It was the weirdest thing ever. And even to this day, like, I have no idea. I don't know. It was like something was tugging at me. Like, why are you even doing this? But I went, and we ended up moving, you know, soon after anyways, here to Georgia. God tries to show you things. Let's say that you don't believe in God, but there are signs. There are things that are there that are telling you. And I think the easy thing for people sometimes is to talk about their struggles after, like, once they've overcome the struggles, once they are good. I don't want to do that. I don't want to just talk about, oh, I'm good and I'm out of it and I'm perfectly fine now, you know, but let me talk about what I went through before. Like, no, I'm talking about it as I'm going through it. I'm going through this struggle right now. And it's very hard for me to even open up right now, just because of, you know, thinking about other people. And I never want to put my husband in a compromising position. When we got married, obviously I was working as a nurse, and right now I'm not. And that's a difficult thing when you're married to someone, because obviously you have to think about financial things and you can't just think about yourself. I just want to stress to you that's watching this video that you have to take control over your life, and you cannot blame other people for the decisions that you make. If there's something that you're doing that you know that this is not what you're supposed to be doing, you know that you're really meant to do something else, like you're not doing anything but hurting yourself by continuously going through the motions. Like, for what? It doesn't help you, it doesn't help anyone else. I want to make sure that at least one person doesn't do the same things that I did, that at least one person doesn't make the same mistakes that I made. I'm going through the struggle right now, and I don't want for you to have to go through that struggle. It's painful, it's embarrassing. Like, I know too many people that have talked to me about them being unhappy and doing something that they know that they shouldn't be doing, just going through the motion. And I think that we have been taught to go through the motion, work a job, make this amount of money, and just be satisfied with that. For me, it's not even on the tip of, oh, I gotta do things myself and I'm gotta be there for me, I gotta work for me, and I gotta do this and do that, and I don't want to answer to other people. That's not the case at all. And I think that is the misconception with so many people, and also thinking so much of other people and what they're gonna think about me. But I'm just like, I can't live that way. When you know that you are passionate about something, and you know that you really supposed to be doing something else, and like you really want God to take control of your life, you have to surrender. And that's the place where I am right now, where I'm just like, God, I just surrender to you. I've been doing things my way all this time, and it has gotten me absolutely nowhere. I believe in a God who is a provider, a healer, a deliverer, a waymaker. This is my life. Whatever people have to say, whatever people believe, whatever people feel, that's on you. That's between you and yourself. And that's what I want to stress to you, whoever is watching this video that may be in this position. It may not be nursing per se, but it could be something else. It could be law, it could be you being in medicine, it could be in marketing and accounting, it could be even you doing videos. Whatever it is, find what it is that you really are passionate about and go after it. I always want to make sure that anyone who watches my videos feel like family. So you can always come to me and talk to me about anything. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram, you can hit me up on Snapchat, you can hit my email. I'll put my email down in the description box. If there is something that you want to talk about and you want it to be just between me and you feel comfortable enough, then do that. Like, it doesn't have to be something that's discussed with nobody. Like, I'm here. I want to be able to help people not make the same mistakes that I made. Like, I refuse to go and to continue in this new year like that. Like, I'm not about to sit up here and lie to y'all no more like that. Like I've got it together, like I've got it figured out. That is nothing, and it only blocks me from really living like a purpose-filled life. That's pretty much it. I hope that this makes some sense, because I know that was a lot. I just really hope that this helps someone. So y'all about to see what unfolds as I go through this, because it's happening right now. This is Thursday, January 11th. 2018. I'm serious. Like, this is what I'm going through right now. Just leave me some comments down below. Show me some love, please, because I need it. Or whatever it is that you have to say, I'm open. I hope that you guys know that I love you, and also God loves you. And leave a comment down below with something that you want to talk about, something that you maybe would want to see. If you have a question that maybe you would want for me to answer in a video, leave it down below or send me a message. Don't forget to like this video if you loved it, and also subscribe so you can join this family. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.